Those dirty little carbs. Not the kind that goes on your dinner plate, but the kind that goes on the engine. They need to be cleaned. So here's a short video on me cleaning the carbs and what I found. Hope you enjoy it.
Welcome back to the hangar again, and while I wait for an item to come in shipping, it's already in transit, I figure I'm going to be getting a little ahead of myself here and address these carburetors. They need to be serviced. Again, they only have about 130 hours on them, and they probably would work just fine if I ran some seafoam, which is a product that you use to clean out shellac and gummed up deposits in carburetors and stuff. They probably would work well, but probably ain't good enough. So I'm going to disassemble them. I do have a rebuild kits for these. I have the parts. So I'm going to disassemble these things. I'm going to clean them up with carb cleaner, which is why I have a metal bowl instead of a plastic one, because carb cleaner, well, it dissolves the dried on deposit from gasoline, which is, we call it shellac. It is a shellac. It's pretty nasty stuff. You're not supposed to use it on rubber parts, and I don't want to use it in a rubber tub. So these two carburetors, a couple of things that have to be addressed. First off, they need to be cleaned and rebuilt. Second thing is all of these boots, I might as well just tear this one off, because hopefully you can still hear me as I'm facing away, but they're like all chewed up and whatnot, so they got to go. A lot of clean oil residue off of stuff on the outside. So yeah, essentially that's what I'm going to do today. Oh, look at that, it's still dripping two-stroke oil. So carbs are going to be rebuilt today and cleaned and serviced and ready for mounting onto the rebuilt engine once I get a part that's coming in for that to finish the assembly. So thanks for following along. Say it early here that I appreciate you guys that like and subscribe. My goal is to have 500 subscribers before the end of the summer. I'm halfway there, or just about halfway there. That'd be cool if you just subscribe and whatnot. If you like what you see, you don't have to. And click the like button. That helps a lot in getting my videos suggested. I've noticed that the videos that have more likes get suggested more out on YouTube. So the like button is really important. Just click that like button if you like what you see. So that's what I'm going to do today, and we're just going to rebuild the carbs. If you've done this before, you know just how easy it really is. I've done it multiple times before. It's not a tough process. It's basically cleaning and replacing parts. Not much to it. Well, there is a little more. You've got to reset your idle jets and so on. Actually, it's just the one jet over here. Idle screw, adjustment screw that needs to be reset. Old school method. Figure out where it is right now. Count the number of turns to seat it down, and then that basically tells you when you put it back together, seat it down till it homes down, but you don't want to torque it, and then back it off to the same number of turns that the old one was, and that'll get you really close. You're still going to have to tweak it when the engine warms up and you do a run-up. You're still going to have to make minor adjustments, but you're going to be really, really close so that the engine won't stumble and stall on you all the time. So, okay, well, let's get on it. Pretty simple process today. Disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly. Hope you enjoy it. So, pitter patter, let's get at her. Let's start with you, shall we?
Okay, starting the disassembly. Taking the rubber pieces off, well, everything apart. This is not a hard process. If you've ever worked in carburetors, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The rubber boots for the cables, they're completely deteriorated. Yeah, this carburetor needs to be serviced before I ever start the engine. So here I am removing the old fuel line that was still attached on there, and it's disassembly. What can I say? It's not rocket science. It's carburetor science. Wahaha. So, yeah, I figured I'll narrate some of these faster forward-moving parts and intersperse with me slowing down the video and stop narration while I say something to the camera, like right about now.
I'm going to do one carburetor at a time so I don't mix up the parts. I think that's a smart move. Oh, absolutely full of two-stroke oil. That was leaking down from the oil reservoir. Wow. That's yeah. Wow.
Yeah, wow. The oil reservoir was mounted at the very top, and gravity over the years allowed the oil to seep into the carburetors and down into the float bowl. I had never thought that I'd see that.
This is rather unique for me. I normally don't rebuild carburetors on two-stroke engines that are full of two-stroke oil lubricant. Normally, it's all, shellac and dried gasoline and what have you. This is different for me, and I've been doing this for, well, on and off, 40 years. So, yeah, definitely a new one for me. So, I don't expect there to be a lot of clean. Well, there's no residue at all in these. They're clean. They're just oily. So I'm going to hit them with a bit of carb cleaner, but yeah, the oil kind of preserved everything. Wow. Well, let's start with the parts. Oh, actually, let's clean this up first. Now, if you're wondering whether this is a full rebuild, no, it's not. It's not anywhere near a full rebuild, where I've disassembled and removed everything. It's not that. This is more of a refreshing of the carburetor because, again, such low time hours on it, there's going to be no worn out parts. The only thing I was concerned about was parts that got a lot of shellac and residue on them. Obviously, that's not the case here, as you can plainly see. So I'm just doing a cleaning and replace the parts as a prophylactic. That, for some of you people who don't know what that means like just as a preventative measure, I'm going to replace the parts that came in the kit, and that's it. Nothing else. I don't think it needs it. I really don't. These carburetors are in absolutely impeccable shape, and they don't have any buildup of shellac and what have you. So there. Good. The easiest way is just to screw the spring back on. Now there's a little There's a guide, slot, pin, whatever you want to call it, on that side. You need to line it up with this. Don't force the lid. There is a little pin on one side that fits into a hole. Make sure you line that up before you tighten it down. Well, that's about all it takes to, I'm not going to call this a rebuild, to refresh a carburetor. Now, I was quite shocked at how much two-stroke oil was. I mean, it was full. This float bowl was full of two-stroke oil. So had I have gone to start the engine without disassembling these carbs first, well, it would have gotten a huge dose of oil at first, probably foul the plugs and what have you. Good thing I checked. So, yeah, that's an important to note. Now, I did not change the idle adjustment screw here, so this should be in exactly the same condition. I need to replace this little hose that goes at the bottom, because this thing is very hard and crumbly. So I just need to pick up a little hose and do that little connection thing, and then the drain at the bottom. And this, I believe, I'll check, but I believe this one here, which is on the engine side, not the intake side, I believe this is a primer port where you'd squirt fuel into it. Pretty sure this is the primer. So, one of the things I might consider doing, and I've seen a fellow post pictures or stuff on there on the YouTube. He's got a engine fogging adapter that that when you park your aircraft, you have to, if you're going to be leaving it for 2-3 weeks or what have you, you should fog the engine. And he's got a little thing where you open a little valve when the engine's running, and it pumps that fogging oil in, and when the exhaust gets really smoky, you shut the engine off and you shut the little valve off. And I believe this is where it is, its entry point is the primer port. I will find out, because the plug that went on there is cracked all the way down. So that would have been a leak that would have been sucking in air and leaning out the mixture. So if I don't, I'll have to get a couple of these little plugs, one for each carburetor, I'm sure. But that's effectively it. This is going to be a very, very, very short video. I'm going to do the other carburetor next and just refresh it. But yeah, surprised that it had so much oil in it, and easy peasy, you know. I've got these rubber intake boots. This one's kind of hard. I've got new ones. I've got new intake rubber boots that go between the engine and the carburetor. So these will be replaced. And yeah, like I said, I'm replacing the boots at the top because the old ones are all crumbly. And that's it. So quick update here. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on talking on here, so just let you know there is some progress, and I appreciate you guys following along. I'll try to make this a very short video since there's so little to show you. Take carburetor apart, find lots of oil in it, no shellac, clean it, and put it back together again. The only part that I replaced, I left the float valve in there. The only thing I replaced was this screen, and yeah, I figured what the heck, I'll change that piece. But the float valve that is the one that's in here, I took a very close look at it. There is no sign of any kind of marks whatsoever. It is absolutely pristine. So, you know what? I'm just going to put it back in, you know? So, that's it. Thanks a lot for following along. I'm going to continue on with this off camera, finish up the other carburetor, get that done, and then I will carry on with other stuff. Hopefully the other part arrives so I can finish the assembly of this engine, and that's it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this quick little update of cleaning out those carburetors. I was shocked by the amount of oil that was inside those carburetors from the two-stroke engine reservoir. Oh well, go figure. Like and subscribe. We'll see you again in the hangar. Not so fast! I've got bonus material.
Let's do this.
Let's see who's going to watch this part.
With the door open. So if you don't mind, I'm going to lift this up. It's going to be noisy. I'm going to take off this tripod. Oh, there we go. I'll give you, this is Peter's bonus material. You're going to like that. Let's spin you around real fast. Again, a 5-ticket ride at the carnival. Are you ready? Hanging on your drinks. Don't throw up and let it go out your nose. 1, 2, 3. Whoop. There we go. Okay, this is my view. Hang on, let me turn on the monitor on the back so I can see what it's seeing. Oh, there we go. It's kind of washed out. Well, it's bright outside, so let's take a little walk. There's the Emerald, the other airplane, which I'm also working on the panel at home. I'm doing the wiring right now. And there we go. Ooh, look at that. I think we need to cut the grass a little bit. It's a little bit tall again. It's been raining so much that as soon as the sun comes out, the grass sprouts like wildfire. Just boom. So yeah, this is the view outside of the hangar, and there's the clubhouse, and more hangars, and more airplanes, and more hangars, and more hangars, and more hangars, and there's our hangar. So yeah, that's the, oh, let me turn the monitor back on. It turned off to save batteries, so there we go. That's the view looking into the hangar, and there's my Challenger. Ooh, sun's coming out. Beautiful. Let's look up. Oh, nice blue skies. I should be up there with the airplane. Oh, hey, that one looks like a rabbit. Okay, enough silliness. Let's walk back in here, see if this thing adjusts for the light. Back into the hangar. Now, I opened up the hangar doors for a reason. If you notice there's water down there, well, we had a lot of driving rain and blue water inside here, so I'm just trying to kind of dry it out a little bit, you know, get some airflow in here so it doesn't get too moist. And there. Now back to the workbench. God, this thing is messy. When this workbench is clean, that means the airplane's going in the air. Because there'll be no parts on it, no tools on it, nothing. It means the airplanes are fully assembled. So if you see a clean workbench right here, that means no more work is getting done, and that's probably a good thing. So anyways, thanks again for following along. Hope to see you. Somebody's taken off. Hang on. Let's watch an airplane take off. I think he's taking off. Oh yeah, there he is. No, he's returning. There he is. He was out flying for a little bit. Lucky guy. Well, okay. Got a little distracted. You know how that is. Squirrel! Squirrel! So, yeah. So, thanks again for following along. Hope you liked the little bonus material here at the end. If you leave a comment, just let me know that you saw the bonus material. That way I know you watched to the very bitter end. And take care, God bless, and remember to keep your stick on the ice. Bye for now.